Hey guys, what's going on? It is me, Sam. Welcome to this video. This is actually going to be more of a guide than anything. It's going to be a guide for Dagannoth Kings. I actually get this asked quite a lot for, how do I do Dagannoth Kings and things like that, because they're my favorite boss and I'm always there. So people see me there and just want to know, some good tips and things like that. So this is going to be sort of like a mini guide. It's not going to be something which is going to be like, going into complete detail about everything, but it's just going to be sort of like a rough sort of go at it, and you guys can always switch things around depending on your account. Obviously the gear I'm using is pretty much the top gear. The only things I don't have is seismic wand. I've just got a Virtus wand instead, and I'm using War Priest, which is only level 75 compared to other gears which you could use, such as Malevolent, Serenic, and also Tectonic. But to be honest, War Priest is actually really good because it's like a hybrid gear. You're going to be switching to different weapons throughout this, so it's good to have something like that. So I recommend to have War Priest straight away actually for this. And another thing as well, which I get asked so much, is how do I get my bones noted when I kill the Dagannoths? And that is because I'm wearing Thermic Sea Boots. You have to complete the elite tasks to get these, and you have to make sure you got the Thermic Sea Boots 4 to do that. And these are so helpful, by the way. If you've got a pack, it's not too bad. You can still sort of bank the bones, but if you can get these, then definitely 100% bring them because they help so much. Ring of Vigor, it's nice to sort of save some adrenaline when you go to Supreme and use Berserk. I've got Drygors as my melee weapons. I've got Ascensions for range, like I said, Virtus for mage, Ascension Bolt, Dragon Rider Amulet because it provides bonuses to all different attack styles, Completionist Cape, Slayer Helmet because this is a Slayer task I'm doing, and also Vampirism. Actually, there's one other thing I forgot to actually get out in the bank, and that is Penance. Now these are probably the two auras you actually want to bring with you, because this is going to be like a 2-hour trip. If I can actually just find Penance, there it is. It's quite messy in the invent, like it's not something which is quite easy to see, like it's got so much going on in here, but this is like the right stuff you need. It's not too bad actually once you're there, but yeah, you want to start off with Vampirism, and then as the trip goes on you want to switch over to Penance. So this lasts for 1 hour, and then once that's over, switch to Penance, and you've got that for another hour. This is going to be like a 2-hour trip. Usually I do about 1 hour and a half, but because I'm quite experienced there now, I'm going to go for a 2-hour trip. And then the rest of the invent is a little bit of food. I've got a pack yak summoned right now with like more food in it. You honestly don't really need too much food at Dagannoth Kings. It's only really the start, or unless you sort of make a mistake which you'd need to eat from. I mean, if you've got Soul Split, then you're fine to sort of continue and just heal from the wrecks. But a bit of emergency food there, and for when you first go down, it's a bit crazy. I've got Restores, all my overloads, Portents of Item Protection, and Portents of Life. I've got Adrenaline flasks here, which are very, very helpful when I'm killing Supreme. Got my runes, got to make sure you've got them, it's very important. So make sure you're on the right spellbook and everything like that. Make sure you've got it selected as well, because that's always like a bad thing to do, is go down and be on the wrong spellbook or something like that. And I've got my extra pack X here, so they last for the period of the trip. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the invent and the gear. I mean, it's quite high, top stuff, but I mean, you can switch things out to Chaotix if you really want to, and a few other things as well, so it's not too bad. And I recommend to be on curses, by the way, because it's nice to have Soul Split. I mean, if you can't have Soul Split, then it's going to be quite difficult. I'd recommend at least 80 plus combat stats, and maybe 92 prayer for the Soul Split. I mean, if you've got 95, then you're pretty much set. But you definitely want to have Soul Split if you want to sort of last there for a long time and be able to kill all 3. For people that don't really have these stats, they tend to just kill Rex, which is a way people do to sort of avoid Supreme and Prime, which hit quite a lot. They just focus on the Dagannoth Rex, and he still drops some good stuff like the Dragon Hatchet, Berserker Ring, and Warrior's Ring, so they can still make some money there quite easily. But if someone who has got this stuff, then make sure to bring it all and be able to kill all of the Dagannoth Kings. So now that that's out of the way, I'm now going to run over to the place where you need to go. So that's obviously the Waterbirth Island, and then down into the cave there. And yeah, I'll show you how to get there. Right then guys, so what you want to do to make your way to Dagannoth Kings is to, well, what I tend to do is just use the lodestone to the Thremenic province. If you've got your house in Relica, obviously you can just use a house tab and you can get there a little bit quicker. But for me, because my house is in Yanil, I'm just going to be using the lodestone here, which isn't too bad. It saves us space, I suppose, and you just got to run a little bit further. It's not too far away, and you can be on your way to the Dagannoth Kings cave. Now the awesome thing about DKs now is that you don't actually need another person to get through the door. It was a requirement before where you needed someone to stand on the pressure pad, and now you can just literally just open the gate and walk in. There's this like summoning obelisk here, you can use it if you want, even though there's one literally by the entrance of the ladder down into the DKs. It's always nice to use that there, and then just run up through here. I'm guessing people watching this guide or will be using this guide, you know where to go for Dagannoth Kings, but for them that don't know, then this is the right way. You want to go down here and over to this guy Jarvald. I don't know actually how to say that, but just right click him, travel water birth, and make your way here. You'll be on this island. You've got this little sort of map thing going on right there, and you just want to run around. Make sure you've got auto retaliate off as well, because that will be quite annoying, because you're always going to be under attack usually when you're in the actual room with the Dagannoth, so make sure you've got auto retaliate off there. And then just run around here, and that's the cave entrance right there. So usually right here you'd actually get like a partner, and you know, you'd go through and they'd open the door together, but now you can just literally run straight through and you're good to go pretty much. So you've got some Dagannoths in here. They don't really hit too much, but later on you might want to start protecting some prayers, because you go through a lot of sort of rooms or caves where things will be attacking you. So right here's the doors which I was on about. Just click on it and it'll open, so pretty awesome about that, and run through. It doesn't really matter which you know, weapons you've got, you know, on right now. It doesn't really matter for that. But for the first, you know, when you first go down there, you want to make sure you're using melee. So just put on whatever just for this part. It's not really too big of a deal. So just run around here. And then get rid of the door support. So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. It gets quite confusing, especially if it's your first time here, because you've got to go down all these different routes and things like that. But it's quite simple after a while, and yeah, it's not too bad. So for the start, what you want to do is just protect from magic and climb down the ladder. It's not even really too bad. Like, these monsters don't really hit too much on you, but it's still pretty worth just to use protection prayers against them. And you pray range here, and got these ladders. It does get a little bit confusing the first time, pray melee here. But for me, what I did, obviously I didn't just, you know, solo straight away. I went with my friends and they sort of taught me how to do it. And you know, after a while you just know the way to go and what to pray as well. So, you know, protect from ranged here. I mean, this is always daunting for me when I looked up about DKs. It's just you know, getting there. You want to protect magic here and continue protecting magic. It's got these ladders, and yeah, it always looked a little bit confusing when you saw people come here, because it just looks so confusing going up all these ladders. But honestly, it's not too bad at all. It's really quite simple. I mean, there's only really one way to go anyway, so, you know, just go down this way and follow where I'm going. Protect from melee. Like I said, these don't really hit too much on you, but I still protect anyway, just in case, you know, after a while. You know, there's quite a lot of them. It is multi, so it does help a little bit with food, even though you can sort of still use abilities such as sacrifice or, you know, Guthix's butterfly to heal you up. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, or soul split. So just continue protecting from ranged, run all the way down here, and we are eventually going to be there. We're going to be coming up to the rock lobsters soon, which is literally the final part. So just continue protecting from ranged, and then you get to this ladder here. What you want to do is just protect from melee, and this might be a place you've seen before on a video or something, I don't know. It's where people used to mage these rock lobsters for charms. I don't know if it's actually still, you know, a thing nowadays, but it used to be very popular. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter what you pray. I just pray mage, range, you know, they're all sort of here together, but, you know, I'd recommend at least mage or range. Melee isn't too big of a deal. So there's actually the ladder going down to DKs, but what you want to do first, or actually the first thing you want to do first, is protect from ranged, and actually just check if the world is free, because there might be someone down there already. And nope, you know, if it's nothing actually going on there, it's all safe, you know. But even if it is safe and no one's there, you still want to run up here and just prepare yourself. So you want to do things like drink overload. Well, make sure you've got full HP, drink overload, make sure you've got the right prayers on, abilities, weapons, everything like that. And there's the summoning obelisk I was on about. You can hide it here behind this little rock thing. I don't know what it actually is. And as you can see there, you can either just rest if you want to get your HP up. You can use soul split, whatever. But a cool tip I want to give you guys is when you first go down there, make sure you've got at least 50% adrenaline so you can use devotion. And then you want to protect from range, because you want to be killing Supreme first with melee, so that he won't be able to hit you for the first 10 seconds, which is very, very helpful. And like I said, the hardest part is the start, because you've got the chance of actually getting all three of them on you. So just be careful on that. You know, make sure you're safing, because you can easily die here, especially at the start. You know, these Dagannoth Kings do hit a lot on you, and they're very, very sort of accurate, so you've got to be careful about that. Alright then, so when you're close to ready, just make sure you've got the quick cursors set to, well, I like to have Soul Split, Anguish right there, or Torment, sorry, make sure it's Torment, and Protect from Item. You won't want to use these straight away, but it's nice to use when you finish the cycle. You can quickly use your quick cursors to sort of start the cycle again, because the way we're going to kill them is Supreme, Rex, and then Prime, and then you'll eventually kill Supreme, and then you'll have to wait on Rex, and that's when you can use your quick cursors, and he's the one you mage, so it's just nice to be able to Soul Split him as quickly as you can. So if I turn that on, you know, you've got Soul Split on right there, you switch to the magic and you're good to go for that. But seeing as we will be killing Supreme first, we want to use melee. So what you want to do is, like I said, try and get some adrenaline. A cool little tip I can show you is if you click on the floor like that and use abilities, you'll actually gain adrenaline and you won't actually do any damage to your monster. After a while it will actually stop working, but it does help, if you don't want to sort of take too long with killing so many monsters. So as you can see there, got 58% adrenaline. You can use ones such as Freedom to keep it going, but from this moment on you want to make sure you're ready to actually go in. So Protect from Item, Protect Range, Turmoil. You can go down here to actually stay in combat if you really want to. Drink your Overload, Prayer Renewal, make sure you've got Vampirism on, and then go straight down. And then you want to use Devotion as soon as you're down. And this is actually a really nice spawn because he's right next to the ladder. Sometimes he can be right in the middle, and that's when it really sucks. Now this guy here, Prime, he will hit a lot on you, but you sort of just got to get used to it and just take the damage. Rex is right there, so if he comes any further, he could potentially get me, but I think I'm in a right position to avoid him. But as soon as you're done with Supreme, so you'll sort of just go crazy, use thresholds, whatever, Protect from Magic, and then you'll be sorted from this guy, even though he still does hit quite a lot through Protection Prayers. So you've got to watch out for him. They've recently buffed them, so they are very strong. But as you can see there, the Dagannoth bones are on the floor and they're noted, and these cost quite a lot. They're like 9.4k, so a lot of money for them, and that's awesome. So now we've got to finish off Rex. You want to still Protect from Magic because you can actually lure Rex so you don't get hit from him. So make sure you got Torment on like that and run down here. So if you run all the way to the east, you can actually get him trapped here, or he went to the side a little bit there, but you can get him trapped up here as well. So if you run all the way down there and just run to this part here, he won't be able to get you, so it's pretty awesome. Like I said, Prime will keep hitting you, even through prayers, so you want to sort of get this done as soon as you can. They are just very, very OP. Not as OP as what they used to be, because they did actually buff them quite a fair bit, but they still hit you quite a lot. But as soon as you're done with Prime and you've just got one on you at a time, it makes it a lot easier. So it's only right now where you need to eat food, because once you're done with Prime and Supreme, you'll just have Rex on you, and that's when you can Soul Split and really sort of, it's easy from then on. So just finish off Rex here. And, like I said, once you're done with Prime and Supreme, you can have Soul Split. It makes it a lot easier. Very nice. They can actually drop food as well, if you're lucky. I mean, they drop food fairly often, so you don't really need to worry about getting lucky, actually. They drop all different types of food, including sharks. That's pretty cool. You want to be careful, because sometimes Prime can get a little bit too far up here, which means Supreme could potentially get you. So you just want to be a little bit careful about that, because if you have two on you, it does get a little bit more difficult. So just be careful on that. So if I take a bit more food out, you should be good to go. So if I continue killing him, you want to sort of kill them as fast as you can, so you beat the cycles. So if I try and kill Supreme really quick after this, I could maybe get him dead before Rex spawns again. So if I switch to my Drygores, Turmoil, and then Protect from Range, what I can do here is Berserk, and because I've got the Ring of Vigor on, it saves 10% adrenaline. Just use any sort of abilities right now, just do damage to him. And as you can see, it is becoming easier with the damage. You can even go to Soul Split if you really want to heal a little bit more, but they do hit quite a lot. And always make sure to pick up the Dagannoth bones if you can. They also drop talismans too, and it's quite a lot of them, so like 27 earth tallies there. They're 3.3k each. It's very nice. Okay, so here's Rex, so just quickly turn on your quick cursors like I said for you to do there. Just run all the way down here. He will hit you a couple of times, but you just got to sort of take it. And then run to this part here, and there you go. You've got him lured, and you can actually now start healing a fair bit. So that's pretty awesome. And this is pretty much it. Like, DKs are quite easy after the first part. You've just got to sort of get the first bit done, and from then on, it is relatively easy. So when Prime spawns, I just kill him with range, and then go back to the Supreme, and then Rex will spawn. I just run back down here again and lure him, and that's pretty much it. Just watch out for your prayer. Make sure that's high. Make sure you got the right prayers on. It's a lot of switching, a lot of things like that, but these are very, very profitable. You can make a lot of money here, and I always find them quite fun to do as well. So There we go, switch to the right cursors there. So you've got Anguish and Protect from Magic, and you're good to go. Use ultimates if you can, you know, it doesn't really matter. You've got like Adrenaline Flask here to use as well, so all good, and you can do a load of damage too. And even with Vampirism, you can sometimes Soul Split. He will still hit a lot, but you will hit a lot on him as well, so it kind of balances it out. And yeah, like I said, these can drop Dragon Hatchets, so they're about over 2 mil right now, so they're pretty good. Plus all of the rings and the water tallies and the Dagannoth bones, it really does add up. Very, very good boss to kill. And you know, I've got them as a Slayer tile, so it makes it even easier. So here we go to finish off Supreme. Very, very easy after this. You can do loads of damage, and you know, it kind of depends on the world as well. So if you've got like a high populated world, these will spawn faster. So you've got to sort of look out for that as well. Make sure you've got like a low ping world, so you can sort of move around a little bit quicker and have faster reaction times, I suppose, for your character. And there's Rex, so you can I can just about keep up with the spawns. It's not really too hard. Quickly do my quick curses, run down here, sort of just lure him down, get the hit, and then there you go. Pretty easy. My overloads have run out, so make sure to check your overloads and do your damage. And there you go. That's pretty much it for DKs. Very, very good. Nice, easy moneymaker, really. Well, I say easy. It's kind of difficult for your first time, but I'd recommend to sort of go in a team first, just to sort of get used to it. But you know, after a while, they're not too hard to solo. And you know, I enjoy them quite a lot. They're my favorite boss. So yeah, I'd recommend to do these if you can. So with this method, you should be able to get about 100 kills in per hour. As you can see in my invent, I've got 99 bones. This will be my 100th kill, and I've still got overload left over from my second flask. So yeah, obviously it's going to be slightly less if you haven't got these Dagannoths as an assignment, but of course still it's really, really good. So you know, if you can do 80 plus, that's still, you know, a big achievement. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you've enjoyed it or learned something, make sure to throw the video a thumbs up. It really does support me, and I will see you in the next video.